The developers of STARFIELD did a Q&A the other day on Discord, and here are 11 bits of new information that we got from their answers to some of the questions. So housing in the game sounds very similar to Skyrim, that you can buy a house in the major cities, and you can also receive houses as part of a quest reward as well. It's not clear whether you'll be able to make an outpost like your home, but if you don't want to do the outpost building part of the game, or you want to do that later in the game, you can have a house in the city instead while you get started. Number 2 is the kids stuff trait, which lets you go and visit your parents. And they've said that what they do in the game is actually base the parents' appearance off your character's appearance. So how you set up your character right at the start of the game in the character creation, that will affect what your parents look like, which is really cool. They also said that fans will love who the voice actors are for the parents. Number 3, everybody starts in the same spot. So there were questions around whether there were different starting points within the game, but that's not the case. Everybody starts in the same spot, but your choice of background and your own sort of headcanon of your character's history is what affects what happened to you before the game and how you got to where you are. And if you can't choose one of the backgrounds, or you don't want to, none of them take your fancy, then you can actually choose an anonymous background and no traits, so that you start with sort of a clean slate, as though you've got amnesia and you can't remember what happened before you got there. Number 4 is more around smuggling and contraband items. So certain items you pick up or steal within the game are considered contraband or illegal to have in your possession. And these are illegal pretty much everywhere in the game, all the major settlements, included harvesting organs, they did mention. So you can buy special ship modules where you can hide these illegal items on your ship, and you'll get scanned in orbit around the major settlements before they'll let you land, and these special ship compartments will let you hide these illegal items in these special compartments so they won't be picked up on the scans. This will allow you to be a smuggler and take them around and sell them, I assume, on the different settlements. Number 5, the jail system sounds like it's going to be very similar to Skyrim more than Fallout 4. So if you're caught for a crime, you can either pay a fine, go to jail, or you can choose to resist arrest and try and escape. Number 6, there was a question around how time passes. So that if you've got things like outposts that are harvesting materials from planets, and you've got trade routes bringing stuff to and from your different outposts and making you money, this only happens while you're actually playing the game, so it doesn't happen in the background. It kind of pauses while you're not playing. Number 7, so all the different faction storylines within the game, they can all be completed independently, which is very similar to Skyrim. So you can work your way through all the different faction storylines, and you can potentially do them all in a single playthrough, and being a member of one faction shouldn't rule you out of joining another faction because they're all separate. There's a slight exception with the UC SysDef quest, which lets you go undercover in the Crimson Fleet. But generally, you should be able to do all the different faction quest lines. Number 8, there was a question around whether you can play the game in a sort of full pacifist playthrough, so that you don't kill or hurt anyone in the whole game. And they did say that that's not completely possible. There are certain situations where you have to kill people or creatures. There's no way to do it completely without killing anybody, but it's massively reduced by using non-lethal weapons, and there's also dialogue options that let you talk your way out of a situation so you don't actually have to fight. Number 9, there's various religions in the game, including mentions of real life religions as well, and they all have their own version of God or some kind of higher power, and you can join one or more of these, and you can come into conflict with them during the game. Certain ones are hostile, certain ones are friendly, all these different ones sort of mixed in around the game. Number 10, there was questions around how many characters you can have joining your crew. So they've said that at the moment there are over 20 named characters who can join your crew. Now these all have various different skills and specializations, and so you can choose where to sort of assign them within your crew, what role to give them. So you might have somebody protecting you on your adventures who's good with rifles, or you might have somebody who increases the certain stats of your ship or your outpost, so you'd assign them to your ship. Now these skills are fixed at different levels for different characters, and they do not level up while you're playing the game, so the level that they start with, that's how they stay. But you can move them around, and they do stack with your own skills, so as your own skills level up, these will stack on top of that to give you even more benefit. And the actual patches on the Constellation members' outfits show what their sort of key skills are. 4 of the Constellation members have the most story and interaction with the player, and to hire members of your crew you have to pay a one-off fee to make them a member of your crew, but you don't sort of have to pay them an ongoing salary, it's just a one-off. Now finally, number 11, there was a question around the mechs that we've seen in some of the trailers and also in the animated shorts. So mechs exist in the Starfield universe, and they were used by both sides in the Colony War, but they are now outlawed and abandoned in the game. So they've said the only ones that you'll find in the game are kind of ruined ones that can't be used, so they can't be used by the player. That's what they tell us. Do we believe them? So let me know in the comments what you thought of these questions and answers in the Q&A. Is there anything else that you wanted to know about the game that they haven't answered?